From the archives of the United States Cavalry, the true stories of Colonel Ranald Mackenzie and the cavalrymen he led. Mackenzie's Raiders. His secret orders from the President of the United States. Clean up the Southwest. Make it a fit place for Americans to live. Wipe out the renegades, outlaws, and murderers. If necessary, cross the Rio Grande, knowing capture means hanging by the enemy. Discovery, court-martial by the United States Army. Southwest Texas, 1873. Harsh, violent, punishing country. A territory in the grip of savage warfare waged between settler and Indian. Raid upon raid exacted a toll of misery and death. Colonel Mackenzie and his thinly spread 4th Cavalry found it all but impossible to help the territory to the peace that was needed so badly on both sides. However, one plan offered a possible solution to the problem. It was a long-range experiment to turn the Indian from warrior into peaceful farmer. One that could bring lasting peace, or if it failed, a return to bloody warfare.
Corporal, where's the next spot? Come on, Corporal. What'd you do, go to sleep? Corporal.
But there was one man whose purposes were best served by seeing the experiment utterly destroyed.
Go through his pockets, make it look like a robbery.
Mackenzie will be hopping mad when he finds out about this.
What can Mackenzie do about it? Nobody's gonna bring a bunch of filthy Indians into this valley. Not while there's a breath of life left in me.
And so, Chief Seneco, if your people succeed, it'll be an example for other tribes. Mr. Marcy, your advance party ready to leave?
Ready to go, Colonel.
Mr. Marcy is an expert in land cultivation. He's been sent out here to teach your people how to take their food from the soil.
You have chosen well, Colonel Mackenzie. I know this land. It is strong and rich.
There is no buffalo to hunt.
Gray Wolf, you must turn from the buffalo and learn to take your food from the soil.
To till the soil is the work of a squaw. The Comanche is a warrior, a hunter. And now you will make him a man without honor.
My son, our ways must change, or there will be no Comanche.
No one will ever say that Seneco was a chief without honor.
Colonel, I've already chosen a temporary campsite. Plenty of water. We can start plowing our fields north of there.
I'll leave all the technical details in your hands, Mr. Marcy. Just get started as soon as you can. The rest of the tribe will be arriving within the week. Oh, and when Commissioner Cameron comes out, he'll want to come out and take a look around, too.
When does he do at the fort?
Sometime tomorrow morning. Mackenzie wishes his friend success. Good luck.
Thanks, Colonel.
Come in.
Colonel, the 2 men we sent to post signs at Clear Fork were found murdered. About 3 miles from Grayson's place.
Ramsey and Hall?
Yeah, they must have been jumped for their money. They were stripped clean.
Sometimes I wonder if the world is based on reason or on madness. All right, get our horses.
What is it, Kirk?
A couple of our boys just spotted Mackenzie coming down the trail. He'll be here in a few minutes. I told you messing with the government means trouble.
Now, you listen to me, Kirk. I've spent 15 years of sweat making this the best ranch in the valley, and I'm not going to stop now.
Well, you've got everything around here but the valley. Do you want that, too?
Yes, I do. I tried to buy that land from the government, and they refused to sell it to me.
Well, maybe you'll be able to make a deal now.
A deal with who? A bunch of redskins playing farmer? The river runs right through that valley onto my spread, and they'll be using it for irrigation. The only deal I'll make now will be a one-way deal.
We can't take on the whole United States Army.
We don't have to take on the whole United States Army. I've got 40 good men with 40 good rifles. They'll be able to handle the Comanches. And as for Mackenzie, he's got 1,000 miles to patrol, and he won't be worrying about a few warriors. Now, you go out there and greet him. Hello, Colonel. Come in.
Thank you.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
What brings you here, Colonel?
2 of my men were robbed and murdered at Clear Forks.
Oh, that's bad. When did it happen?
Yesterday. I thought maybe one of your men might have seen or heard something.
No, we don't often get over to the valley except to look for strays. Did you hear anything about this?
No. Maybe it's a couple saddle tramps. Or Indians. They're always wandering through here giving us trouble.
Well, I do hope you'll have your men keep their eyes open. I wouldn't like anything to happen to the government experiment.
Experiment?
Yes, the government is trying out an Indian farm over at Clear Forks.
Well, what do you know?
That'll never work, Mackenzie. Indians are lazy. You can't trust them either. They're a thieving, murderous savage. Frankly, I don't like the idea of them being next to me. First thing you know, they'll be stealing my cattle.
Not necessarily. Not if we teach them how to work the land. A man who's not hungry is seldom a thief.
Trying to change an Indian is like trying to take the smell out of a skunk. You can't do it.
We can try, Mr. Grayson.
It's the waste of the taxpayers' money. I guarantee you they'll hightail it out of here with their first little bit of sweat. You'll see.
I'm afraid those Indians are going to be your neighbors for some time, sir. And I'll expect your cooperation.
Do you wish to cooperate, Kirk?
I think it'd be real neighborly.
That's the way it's done. Now you try it, Gray Wolf. Remember, straight and steady. Go, Rowdy.
Let him plow nice, neat rows. And tonight we'll do the planting.
Dynamite, a new word, a new force. It could help man carve a nation from the wilderness, or in the wrong hands, destroy him.
You must learn well. You will have to teach the others.
A Comanche was meant to ride a horse, not to follow behind one in the dirt.
When I taught you to use the bow, you did not master that the first day either.
Gray Wolf, when you see that first green, living thing break through the earth, all your work will be rewarded. Tomorrow, when the seeds arrive, I will teach you how to plant.
The seed and supply wagon you sent out this morning represents an investment of $2,890. We estimate it will cost us 50 cents per diem per Indian to keep them going until the first crop. Now, our total investment will be $59,000. In terms of my department's budget, this represents an exorbitant sum. Therefore, we must insist you make no unauthorized expenditures.
Well, I really don't have time for the bookkeeping, Commissioner Cameron. I'm all in favor of the program, but I must warn you that turning a Comanche into a farmer is no easy task.
Colonel, during the past 12 months, more than 4 million buffalo were slaughtered. In 5 years, the Indians' food supply will vanish completely.
That's right, that's right. Either he learns what we have to teach him, or he faces ultimate starvation and extinction.
The Indian has no choice. He must cooperate.
Well, I wouldn't explain it to a Comanche brave in just those terms. They're a very proud people.
Well, you talk to them any way you like. We're interested in results at the lowest possible cost.
I understand, Mr. Commissioner.
Pardon, sir. Mr. Marcy's outside. Says it's urgent.
Have him come in. What's up, Mr. Marcy?
It's unbelievable, Colonel. Last night when we finished plowing one of the fields, it blew up.
Blew up? What do you mean it blew up?
It's just what it did. Ruined a whole day's work.
What's this man talking about, Colonel?
That's what I'm trying to find out, Commissioner.
Are you Commissioner Cameron?
That's right.
I'm Dave Marcy. I can't explain it. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. It was like 10 kegs of gunpowder going off all at once.
Gunpowder? Yeah, it may have been gunpowder. It may have been something else. Anybody hurt?
No, but plenty scared. I did all I could to calm them down. Gray Wolf was all for leaving, but Senecal promised they'd stay put.
Sergeant,
Yes, sir.
organize a patrol. We've got trouble over in Clear Forks. I'll ride with you. We've got to catch that seed and supply wagon. On the double.
You said it might not have been gunpowder, Colonel. What else could it be?
Did you ever hear of a new explosive called dynamite?
Beautiful stuff. You could move mountains with this, Kirk.
You sure you got a long enough fuse? Remember what happened when we dammed the waters up in the North Canyon?
You worry too much, Kirk. Big ideas take big men and power, and this is all the power I want. Here comes a wagon.
Hold it! Hold it!
Mackenzie's orders: clean up the Southwest at all costs. Make the territory safe. Help to settle the Comanche in Clear Forks. See that they are taught how to farm. But Mackenzie had yet to realize the ruthlessness of Matthew Grayson, a man driven by power and prejudice, determined to blast the Comanches from Clear Forks.
They were blown off the face of the earth. Sergeant, tell Mr. Marcy to come over. I'll dictate a report later.
I must say, Colonel Mackenzie, I don't understand this.
It's very simple. Your department just lost $2,900. And when you enter it on your books, you might also enter the cost of the lives of 2 men.
No need to get tested, Colonel. I'm just trying to find out what the devil happened.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was dynamite, all right. I saw an ordnance test back east. I'll never forget it.
This just doesn't make sense. Who'd have dynamite out here?
Matthew Grayson. He's been using it for months to clear roads and divert water on his lands.
Well, you think this Grayson is responsible for the wagon?
Could be. And he could have blown up that plowed field, and he could have murdered the 2 men I sent out to post signs at Clear Fork. I wouldn't put anything past him. He hates Indians.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's place him under arrest.
The Army's taught me one thing, Mr. Commissioner. Never go off half-cocked. That dynamite might have been stolen from Grayson. On the other hand, if it is Grayson, if he does have a plan to take over that valley and drive out the Comanches, then I better have a better plan to trap him.
Colonel, the sergeant told me what happened. What are we going to do now?
There's only one thing we can do. Keep those Indians in Clear Forks and make it apparent they're going to stay there.
After what happened last night, they're afraid to go out in those fields and work.
They'll work. They'll work if you and the commissioner go over there and pitch in. Set an example. Try to show them that there's nothing to be afraid of.
Well, what'll that accomplish? It won't take care of Grayson.
I'm not so sure. Maybe we can make him bite if we use the right bait. Grayson is a greedy, bigoted man. He's obsessed with a hatred of the Indian. If we can convince him those Indians are going to stay in that valley, we can sting him into doing something drastic.
Well, why use subterfuge? I say let's go in and arrest him.
I have no proof. The dynamite is the only link to Grayson. I've got to catch him actually planting it.
How?
You leave that to me.
But what am I going to say to Washington?
I'll take the responsibility. Gentlemen. Sergeant.
Yes, sir?
Sergeant, have a detail of men ready to leave for Clear Forks at sundown. We're going to move into that valley under cover of night, on foot. The men are to be deployed around the plowed field and the camp. They're to be concealed at all times, but I want them to keep their eyes open. The lives of the people in that camp depend on their vigilance. Now, they're to communicate with each other by signal only. But remember, if even a field mouse gets in there tonight, I want to know it.
I understand, sir.
To all outward appearances, the farm experiment continued normally. However, the area was now sealed off by Colonel Mackenzie and his raiders, a small group of highly trained specialists, experts in the art of violence, whose duties were dangerous, whose orders were secret.
Thank you. I haven't worked this hard since I was a boy back on the farm in New Hampshire.
Now, when the Indians leave the valley, we'll bring in our men and go to work on the headwaters. If we blast here, in this narrow spot, and build a dam, we'll have a controlled flow from the watershed. Kirk, when I take over Clear Forks, you can stand on the highest ridge and see nothing but my land, no matter which way you turn. Have the Indians left?
No. 2 men came in, and the Indians pitched camp again. Now they're back out plowing the fields. Look like they're going to stay.
What?
I don't know what's going on.
I knew it.
Well, we let them break their backs. A little dynamite placed in the right spot, perhaps on the slope overlooking their camp, will bring down half the mountainside. We'll bury them all with one clean sweep. Oak, get a case of dynamite and put it in the cave near the headwaters. We'll work out of there.
I don't like it. It's too quiet. You think Mackenzie's out there?
I guess he's out there someplace. Maybe we ought to turn in.
Well, it's one night I won't get much sleep.
How long we been here now, Sergeant?
2 hours and 45 minutes, sir.
Yeah. Hold it.
What do you want?
I'll ask the questions. What are you doing here? Grayson sent you, didn't he? To blow up the camp.
Look, if you want to question me, let's go somewhere else.
You're not going anywhere. You're going to stay right here. If that dynamite goes up, you go up too. All right, men. Take cover. But keep him in your sights.
No, please, don't leave me here.
You haven't got much choice, mister. Take one step and you'll die by my rifles. Stay here and you'll die by your own dynamite.
It's Grayson's dynamite.
Where is he?
Up there in a cave.
Will you take us to him?
Yes, anything. As long as we can get out of here before it's too late.
Sergeant.
All clear, sir.
All right, lead the way. Why don't you sit down?
Well, what's keeping him so long?
Well, why don't you go out and have a look for yourself? It'll make you feel any better. See anything?
No.
Something wrong. The dynamite should have gone off by this time.
Well, maybe he didn't plan it right.
Not Hogue. He knows how to handle his stuff.
Well, maybe the Indians planted a guard and he couldn't get through.
Will you stop behaving like a frightened woman?
Somebody's out there. Hogue!
Ah, there's nobody out there.
I tell you, I heard something.
Grayson, you're trapped. You're bottled up. Come on out.
Give me the rifle.
You try to get me, I'll put a bullet in your head.
Grayson?
What are we gonna do? They'll wait us out.
I'll take care of them.
Grayson, this is Mackenzie. We've got your man, now we're taking you. Come on out.
With the threat of Matthew Grayson removed, the Valley of Clear Forks became the new home of the warriors who worked the soil. And for Mackenzie, another step toward helping the territory grow.
And you will be pleased to learn, Commissioner Cameron... No, strike that, Commissioner Cameron. You'll be pleased to learn that the Indians are already planning to double their acreage for next year. You got that?
Yes.
Now, final paragraph. You will also be pleased to know that we have stayed well within our budget. There have been no unauthorized expenditures. Underline unauthorized. Your obedient servant, so forth, 4th Cavalry Commanding. Don't disturb me until I let you know.
Hey, wait a minute. You can't go in there.
We wish to see the colonel.
I'm sorry, the colonel can't be disturbed.
I told you I didn't want to be disturbed. What's this commotion?
They insisted, sir.
It's all right, Sergeant.
You will honor us, my white brother, if you accept this offering from the Comanches' first harvest.
I am on it. Sergeant. Thank you. Thank you.
Mackenzie's raiders rode again and again. carrying out the secret orders of the President of the United States. Do whatever necessary to clean up the Southwest, make it a decent place for people to live. Ride with Mackenzie's Raiders as they relive the blazing pages of history in the making. From the archives of the United States Cavalry, the true stories of Colonel Ranald Mackenzie and the cavalrymen he led. Mackenzie's Raiders. His secret orders from the President of the United States. Clean up the Southwest. Make it a fit place for Americans to live. Wipe out the renegades, outlaws, and murderers. If necessary, cross the Rio Grande, knowing capture means hanging by the enemy. Discovery, court-martial by the United States Army. West Texas, close to the Rio Grande, fall 1877. Harsh, relentless land of the pioneer, land that was still to be tamed. And land, too, of the 4th United States Cavalry, under the command of Colonel Ranald Slidell Mackenzie. The secret orders had been simple. Enter Chuma Valley, encounter and apprehend James Bueland Harkis.
The raiders are ready, Colonel.
Good. I want you to circle around behind Harkis and his men through the Medicine Wells area. And we'll have him in a vise. I'll give you an hour and a half to get in position. Then we'll move in from the other side.
Yes, sir, I understand.
The plan had been simple. 2 units of Mackenzie's Raiders would attack simultaneously from opposite sides. But again, Harkis had been alerted. He was escaping. Too far away to be of assistance were the other raiders. It was left to Mackenzie to complete the capture. To do this meant crossing the Rio Grande and violating Mexican sovereignty, for it was in Mexico Harkis sought his escape. It was there he believed he was safe from pursuit. It was there, scant hours later, he was being tracked to earth. For months, Harkis and his men had terrorized the settlers of Chuma Valley. For months, they had been free to rob and pillage.
Come on, man, let's go.
Mackenzie's relentless pursuit gave Harkis no choice but to make a stand. So death came to these men of Fort Clark. The report of a Federalist patrol sent Harkis and his men back across the Rio Grande to safety. But fate had decreed that Ranald Mackenzie would survive this carnage to fight again. Sorely wounded but alive, Mackenzie faced the terrible problems ahead. Miles of trackless waste lay before him. The danger of discovery by Mexican soldiers existed. And once the great river was crossed, there was Chuma Valley, Harkis's domain. But find his other patrol he must. Then one man, Harkis, must be made to pay.
Where is he?
It's Harkis. He wants to talk to you.
You can tell your friends it didn't work.
I didn't have nothing to do with it, Mr. Harkis.
But you knew about it, and you didn't say anything.
Mr. Harkis, please.
You made your choice. You stick with it.
I didn't make any choice. Nobody told me nothing. I just thought it was talk.
Well, this ain't just talk. You tell him from me that Mackenzie and his soldiers are dead. I'm back in Chuma Valley, back to stay. Everything is just as it was, and if you and your friends don't like it, you can move out. Your land won't be vacant long.
Please, Mr. Harkis, I didn't have anything to do with the soldiers coming. Sully, don't look at me like that. What was I supposed to have done? What can one man do against him?
Light the lamp, Clay. It'll be dark soon.
I need help. Please help me.
Soldier.
I'm hurt. And I'm tired.
It ain't safe here. I can't help you. Please, go away. For your own sake, go away.
I need help.
There's no help here for anyone.
Officer. Maybe Mackenzie herself.
Mackenzie's dead. Harkis said so.
But don't you see, no matter who it is, if I tell Harkis...
But you wouldn't tell Harkis.
You just relax, soldier. I'm going to fetch a doctor. Be back directly, soldier.
Get out. Get out while there's still time.
No. Doctor's coming.
There is no doctor in Chuma Valley. Do you understand? He's gone back to get Harkis. He's gone to bring Harkis back to kill you. He figures he can save our land by turning you over to him. Please, please, there's nothing you can do. Just go and hurry.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm sorry. He's gone.
Was it Mackenzie?
I don't know.
We'll find him. He can't have gone far.
You won't need this here.
My name is Mackenzie.
Yes? And my name is Albert Penn.
You don't seem to understand. Somebody's looking for me.
I do understand. That's the way in this land. The hunter and the hunted.
But in this case, the hunter is James Buland Harkis.
Who else in Chuma Valley?
You're not afraid of him?
Very much. But I'm an old man, and I've learned to live with many things. I can live with fear.
If I can get this shoulder fixed, I've got a patrol somewhere in this valley.
It'll take a steadier hand than I have to fix that shoulder.
Have you seen a cavalry patrol?
At least the bleeding stopped. No, I haven't seen them. But John Leonard said he saw some shoulders this morning, a few miles east of here.
There's another cavalry post within miles. They must be from Fort Clark. I've got to find them.
In your condition? In the dark?
That bullet scraping against the bone. It's got to come out.
And soon.
Right now. Get a knife.
I told you I can't do it, son. It's not fear this time, but age. If I dug for that piece of lead, you might never use that arm again.
Get a knife. I'll dig it out myself.
That's for storybooks. No man could.
Harkis?
Who else at this hour? Come. Through the woods. You may be able to lose him that way. Come right in, Mr. Harkis.
You're up kind of late, aren't you, Penn?
Establishing a curfew?
You been alone all night?
Most of the time. I was over at Leonard's earlier.
I don't like to play games, Penn. Has anybody been here?
Nobody.
Well, then you don't mind if we look around. One of you started carrying a cavalry pistol. You're lucky, old man, your days are numbered. Or else I'd kill you right now.
Morning in Chuma Valley, country of the oppressed. Mackenzie fought to escape the relentless pursuit of James Buell and Harkis. To live, he had to find his patrol or friends willing to face the brutal wrath of the man who ruled this valley.
Don't turn around or I'll shoot. Now, drop the rifle. Now walk ahead, slowly. All right, stop right there.
Mister, you picked the poorest man in Chuma Valley to rob.
Turn around.
Well, now, isn't that clever of you?
I'm not dead yet. I'm a long way from dead.
Well, I'm happy to hear that.
I hope you'll be just as happy when you're swinging at the end of a rope.
Mister, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and Harkis and all the rest of that gang.
Oh, well, now, two things. One, I ain't one of Harkis' men. And two, that gun ain't loaded. Spent my last shell on a deer. Missed him, too. Hey, I hope you don't feel as bad as you look.
If I look as bad as I feel, you better start digging a hole.
Well, here, come on. Keeps cool down the well. How you feeling?
I don't know yet.
There.
I guess I'm supposed to say I needed that.
Well, I can't speak for you, Colonel, but I know that I sure do. You know, my ma'd be right proud of me now. Always wanted I should be a doctor.
Offhand, I'd say you made a pretty fair one.
I'd say we both been pretty lucky.
You ever done anything like this before?
Yeah, once, during the war. Operated on my horse. He lived, though.
That's reassuring.
All fooling aside, though, Colonel, about this lost patrol of yours, how do you reckon to go about finding them?
I was in hopes they'd find me.
Well, if Harkis don't find you first.
Harkis has had several chances now. He's missed every one of them.
Harkis needs not to miss just once.
Yeah. I've got to find that patrol.
You wouldn't get 2 miles, Colonel, without that shoulder of yours bleeding like a stuck hog.
I was figuring maybe you might help me. Why not? It's your fight, too.
I had me a part of the big fight, Colonel. When I got out of that, the only thing I had was a pair of butternut jeans and that gray jacket you're wearing. Now, that was 12 years ago. But it taught me one thing. When you got next to nothing, it don't hurt if you're going to lose it. Harkis can have my land. I'm all through fighting.
But don't you realize that if just a handful, just a dozen of you men would stand together against Harkis, you could drive him and his kind out of Chuma Valley?
Colonel, did you know that in one of the Apache dialects, the word Chuma means coward?
There aren't too many places left. You two head north. Check the Brownfield Ranch and Jay Lawrence's farm. If you don't find that soldier in 3 hours, meet me at Chad Curlin's.
Look at me, Sully.
Mackenzie's very presence in Chuma Valley was bringing courage back to its people. There was still a chance, with their aid, to end the terror of James Harkis.
Then why'd you help me at all? Why'd you take the chance on Harkis finding me here?
Colonel, remember I said get next to nothing? Well, I'm in it. It ain't worth it. But you gotta have some place to bed down. This here's as good as any. If you and them soldiers can get rid of Harkness, that's fine with me.
Oh, I see. And I couldn't have done that lying out there in those woods.
Something like that. No use saying what you're thinking, Colonel. It's been 12 years, and it's all been said before.
I'm sure it has. I'm just wondering what you'd do right now if Harkis rode up.
It's been 12 years, Colonel.
Open that door real easy. If it is Harkis, step back. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
I've ridden half the valley looking for Harkis. Chad, you've got to help me. Colonel Mackenzie was at my place. Thank heavens you're alive. You'll help us, won't you?
How many shells you got for this rifle?
Only 3, I think. Yep.
Load it. 1 shotgun, 1 rifle, and 3 shells. We wouldn't have a chance. Get a horse saddled. Come on, come on. We've got to find my troops.
I've been waiting for you, Harkis. I saw you heading this way from the ridge. Why did you hit Sully?
I can't see Harkis. He's around the other side of the house.
Put that gun down and go home, Tolman.
I won't. I'm gonna kill you.
Go inside and get Carlson.
Let him come in. I'll keep him covered. You get his weapon.
You made a mistake, Chad. Mackenzie, are you in there too?
I did make a mistake. Do you reckon it's too late, Colonel?
No, Chad. It's not too late. Cover me. The odds are evening up. If I can get that pistol. Mr. Penn. You all right, Mr. Penn?
Yeah. He just winged me. Did you get him?
I got him.
We did it, Colonel. We did it. Like you said, didn't even take a dozen of us.
To the people of Chuma Valley, the short but bloody fight at Curlin's homestead meant the end of oppression. To those troopers who lost their lives in the ambush, the new freedom in Chuma Valley was their offering to a country still growing. And for Colonel Ranald Mackenzie, it meant the successful completion of another secret order, which, added to all the others, brought the promise of a safe frontier nearer reality. Mackenzie's raiders rode again and again, carrying out the secret orders of the President of the United States. Do whatever necessary to clean up the Southwest. Make it a decent place for people to live. Ride with Mackenzie's raiders as they relive the blazing pages of history in the making. From the archives of the United States Cavalry, the true stories of Colonel Ranald Mackenzie and the cavalrymen he led. Mackenzie's Raiders. His secret orders from the President of the United States. Clean up the Southwest. Make it a fit place for Americans to live. Wipe out the renegades, outlaws, and murderers. If necessary, cross the Rio Grande, knowing capture means hanging by the enemy. Discovery, court-martial by the United States Army. June 13th, 1874, morning. A lone courier and a punished animal sped through the vast waste of southwest Texas. The courier bore a message so vital, so secret, that it could not be relayed by telegraph or mail. The man for whom it was intended, the commander of Fort Clark, Colonel Ranald Slidell Mackenzie. The man from whom it came, the President of the United States.
Sergeant.
I did like the Colonel said, sir. That courier will sleep for a week.
Stand at ease. Did you see to it he got something to eat?
Well, Colonel, I made the mistake of showing him his bedroll first. He sure must have rode a long way.
He did. Sergeant, I'll need you and 3 other raiders, volunteers from our group.
Yes, sir. There's me and Dixon, Brown.
Sergeant, I said volunteers.
Yes, sir. Volunteers for what, sir?
We're going to take a ride into Mexico.
Yes, sir.
About 340 miles into Mexico.
Yes, sir.
I must say you took it better than I did.
Took what, sir?
340 miles. That means there can't be any quick dash back across the Rio Grande if we get into trouble.
Yes, sir.
All right, Sergeant. Organize the volunteers.
Right away, sir.
Oh, and Sergeant, you will be sure they're volunteers, won't you?
Oh, yes, sir.
Private Lewis, Corporal Brown, Corporal Dixon. Thank you for the volunteers, Sergeant. At ease. There's every possibility that we may fail in the mission we're about to undertake. There's every need that we do not fail, because if we do, the United States will probably be at war with Mexico. I imagine that you've all heard of Michael Lucas O'Hara.
General Michael Lucas O'Hara?
Right.
The Yankee who sold out his battalion at Pine Ridge?
Well, he disappeared in '64.
He's reappeared in San Rodrigo, Mexico. Our orders are to go in and get him. Further, our orders are to bring him out. And within a week's time. And without being seen by federales. San Rodrigo is 340 miles below the Mexican border. I think you all understand what that means. Now, I'll understand if any of you wants to withdraw from the mission. Private Lewis?
Ready, sir.
Corporal Brown?
Ready, sir.
Corporal Dixon?
Ready, sir.
Sergeant? Thank you, men. Dismiss.
Dismiss. Sir, if the colonel will pardon my asking.
If you'll close the door, the colonel will pardon you for asking.
Sir, why the week time limit?
Sergeant, we've gotten word that O'Hara is part of a scheme to overthrow the Mexican government. On the 16th, our information says. Also, he's letting word get around that he has the support of the United States.
Well, why can't the Mexican government do something about O'Hara?
I'm sure that question's been asked before. Whatever the answer is, the fact remains the president has ordered us to act. I'd almost rather stay in Mexico than come back without O'Hara.
When do we leave, sir?
Immediately. We'll carry our own food and water.
And how much ammunition?
Well, if we're spotted by federales, we can't stay and fight. We've got to run for it. On the other hand, we'll be going through Mescalero Apache territory. It's arid country. Water will be just as valuable as bullets. Let's say only 20 rounds per man.
Yes, sir.
Have the men ready to leave singly in 30 minutes.
Yes, sir.
So Mackenzie and his raiders assembled secretly on the American side of the border. The task before them was an almost impossible challenge, but the orders from their commander-in-chief were specific. Return with John Lucas O'Hara. For 36 hours, they rode deep into Mexico. The border was now 200 grueling miles behind them. On the second night, now in Mescalero country, they rested.
The horses.
Colonel? Yeah. They cut the hobbles and made off with the horses.
What do we do now, sir?
They'll run till they think they're safe. And where'll they think they're safe? Get the saddles. We're gonna climb those rocks.
Mackenzie's position was now desperate. To push deeper into Mexico without horses was to invite certain disaster. Yet there could be no turning back. Only one slim chance remained to Mackenzie, and on this chance he had to gamble.
What's the matter, kid?
My poor horse.
Huh?
To think he has to carry me, too. Colonel, how far do you figure we've come on foot?
30 miles, maybe.
Still leaves 100 to go.
And 345 miles back.
Let's get some rest while we can.
Well, it isn't possible, is it?
The colonel seems to think so. That's good enough for me.
Finally, after 3.5 torturous days, their goal was in sight.
Lewis, bring my blanket.
Blanket, sir?
Not even one guard.
Maybe they weren't expecting us.
Suppose we ought to wake them, let them know we're here?
No, let them sleep. They're probably tired.
No telling how many there are inside, Sergeant.
What are we gonna do? After 345 miles, you're still asking that?
All right. While they're still sleeping, we'll go in there and take him. Sergeant, bring that blanket. Lewis, you stay here and cover us, coming and going. All right, follow me.
Having come 340 perilous miles, Mackenzie and his raiders had now to breach O'Hara's stronghold, to find the man who would willfully destroy the growing peace between Mexico and the United States.
Give me your knife, Dixon.
Suppose he was guarding somebody important.
Only one man I know that needs a bodyguard.
Well, seeing as he ain't gonna be able to guard anybody for a time, I'd like to volunteer for his job.
Xavier, is that you? Bring me a fresh towel, will you please?
Your Burr had nothing on you, mister. Just give me a reason.
Tie him up.
Go ahead, General O'Hara. For me, just one little sound.
Tie his boots around his neck. If we're spotted, make sure that you get him before they get us.
Your boots, sir.
All right, quiet. Let's go. Get him up on that horse. Sergeant, you ride double with him, and be careful. Dixon, you and Brown mount double on the other horse and ride to where we left ours.
If it's all the same, sir, I'll stay with you.
It's not all the same. Mount up.
Come on.
Good work, son. Now let's get out of here.
It's been too easy.
Gets tougher as we go along. Go on. Dixon, give me a knife.
Well, I'm much obliged to you. But aren't you afraid I might escape?
No. This is Mescalero Apache country. One man alone wouldn't have much chance.
If you get me to Washington, I'll have no chance. Here, at least, I can...
From what I've heard about you, Mr. O'Hara, you're not a man who likes to take chances with his own personal safety.
And what have you heard, Colonel? That rather than die needlessly, I capitulated to the enemy?
That you sacrificed the trust of your men in order to secure your own safety?
They could have enjoyed that safety as much as I.
Instead, they chose something a soldier calls honor. And they died at Andersonville.
It was their choice.
Tell me, Mr. O'Hara, was it easier to sell out your country down here in Mexico than to sell out your own men at Pine Ridge?
Colonel, I found out when I was quite young. A man's conscience is too often a barrier to personal gain. I have simply denied mine. It's interesting. I've never talked to anyone like this before.
It's too bad you haven't. Maybe those men wouldn't have had to die at Andersonville prison.
Indians, sir!
2 more, Colonel.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. At a gallop!
They're going away. Why is that, Colonel?
I don't know. I don't know. He's dead. The Indians must have known. That's why they ran off.
Won't those Apaches come back?
They wanted our horses, maybe our scalps. But they won't come within miles of this place now. This man died of smallpox.
We better get out of here.
No, I think it's all right. He's probably been dead 24 hours. Wouldn't be much chance of contamination after that.
Everyone remain just where they are. I have a knife at this boy's back.
Sure enough has, sir.
Your information about the Indians is most comforting, Colonel. It'll ease my mind on the way back to San Rodrigo.
It's a bad try, O'Hara. We all of us came on this mission expecting death.
Just say the word. This one will get it first.
Go ahead and take him, Colonel. I'll take my chances.
This makes the odds just a little bit better. I can get 2 of you. Maybe 3.
Don't let him get away. Do something.
Don't make a move.
Get away from that door.
I'm not afraid, sir. Sarge, Nixon.
Where'd he get you, son?
It's all right, sir. He got me in the hand. I grabbed the blade.
But it hurts. Sure it does.
Strange. I never figured on his loyalty to you.
Loyalty is something you know very little about, Mr. O'Hara.
But you, sir?
Oh. It hurts.
By all reckonings, the mission should have failed, but it didn't. At best, the casualties should have been high, but they weren't. In the daily reports, Mackenzie's journey into Mexico was listed simply, mission accomplished. For their part in the raid on San Rodrigo, the raiders received commendations from the man who had led them, Colonel Ranald Slidell Mackenzie, 4th Cavalry Commanding, Fort Clark, Texas. Mackenzie's raiders rode again and again, carrying out the secret orders of the President of the United States. Do whatever necessary to clean up the Southwest, make it a decent place for people to live. Ride with Mackenzie's raiders as they relive the blazing pages of history in the making. the archives of the United States Cavalry, the true stories of Colonel Ranald Mackenzie and the cavalrymen he led. Mackenzie's Raiders. His secret orders from the President of the United States. Clean up the Southwest. Make it a fit place for Americans to live. Wipe out the renegades, outlaws, and murderers. If necessary, cross the Rio Grande, knowing capture means hanging by the enemy. Discovery, court-martial by the United States Army. October 1870, the third consecutive month in which officers, men, civilian scouts attached to Fort Clark had been without pay. But at long last, the accumulated payroll of 3 bitter months was arriving.
Now, suppose you all just take your guns out nice and easy like and drop them right there in the road. Now, you, in that wagon, you'll find a certain box. Supposing you just go back there and grunt and tote it down onto the road.
Better do it, Weatherby. I feel a little sorry for you, mister. Not much, just a little. You're robbing Mackenzie's 4th Cavalry.
Well, I didn't take you for Navy. Now, suppose you get back up on your horse. Now, the whole bunch of you just ride right on down the road just as though nothing ever happened. Goodbye.
Scout Weatherby spread the word like hot butter. All
Good.
Brackettville's gossip talking about your holdup, sir.
My holdup?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I mean the holdup. They didn't know you were the bandit.
The little boy. He arrive yet?
He arrived this morning, sir. That kid's like having a pet panther for a mascot.
This ought to be bait enough.
Colonel, if I may, I've been thinking.
Well, the Army lieutenant does not forbid junior officers from thinking, but it hardly approves. Besides which, you were thinking about joining me.
Oh, yes, sir. I was thinking that when you get the girl, in case there's trouble, then one of us could take care of the girl while the other took care of the trouble.
Sorry, Lieutenant. That'd be risking 2 officers instead of 1. No, we'll do it as planned. We've got to get that girl out of Mexico. In the process, we can also hope that we'll get Lionel Folger. That's the girl, Lieutenant, Mrs. Wagner. I've got to know her when I see her, if I see her.
She's awful pretty to be so important to Washington.
She's the key witness in a Senate investigation. Without her, no investigation. Now that we've got that little boy safe here, we can move. I've waited a long time to deal with Lionel Folger. That expensive hideout of his has been harboring criminals long enough.
It's going to be risky business, sir. Our security reports indicate that the Mexicans have greatly increased their border patrols.
Yeah. Can't be helped. We've got to get Mrs. Wagner out of Mexico. Our orders are specific on the subject. Let's hope we also get Lionel Folger. The raiders, they'll be ready to leave at dawn?
Yes, sir. All close-mouthed men, sir. Telling them the secret's like embalming it. The pet panther.
I'm an Indian. Is Mom here?
Not yet, Mike. But I'll have her here for you. I promise you.
Oh.
I wonder if you'd reconsider, sir.
The answer is no, Lieutenant.
Bang, bang, you're both dead.
Besides, you've got to stay here and take care of Michael, see that nothing happens to him.
Take that and that. You're dead.
I don't think it's him you have to worry about, sir.
I see what you mean. See you later, Mike.
Sir? Quarter of a mile since we crossed the river.
All right. We'll stop here. Lieutenant, are you clear on your orders for the next 48 hours?
Yes, sir. Colonel, I have my civilian going on leave clothes right here.
Sorry, Lieutenant. We've been over that before. The answer's still no.
You guessed right, sir. There is a man up on that hill. Looks like a sentry for Folger. He couldn't see us cross the river from up there, but he can sure see us come out this draw here.
Good. I'd like to have a little audience. Lieutenant, chase me for about a quarter of a mile. No farther. Then turn around and go back into the United States.
Yes, sir.
All right, men. I want you to shoot at me. Make it look good. Not too good, however. I just as soon none of you won a marksmanship medal on me. All right, let's go.
Good luck, sir.
Come on, men.
As Mackenzie had anticipated, the sentry intercepted and escorted him to the sanctuary of Lionel Folger.
Mr. Folger will see you, sir, if you'll wait here, please.
Delighted.
Your hat, sir.
Good day to you, sir. My man Reed here has instructions to bring you and all strangers to see me. I am Lionel Folger.
Delighted. As a matter of fact, Mr. Folger, I was on my way to see you. We have certain mutual friends, their names aren't pertinent, who recommend you as a charming and trustworthy host.
And your name, sir? Perhaps it is pertinent.
Well, what would you like? Smith? Jones? Brown? Or shall we say O'Brien? Algernon O'Brien. A little less common. May I?
En garde?
I may be a little rusty. May I compliment you on your residence, sir?
Thank you, but I simply copied it from a home I visited once in Boston. And may I compliment you on your fencing, sir?
Thank you. I studied it at one time in Europe, at a period when it was expedient for me not to be in the United States. Very much like now. A woman, you understand? Very good, Mr. Folger.
A woman? You're a liar. Reed saw you chased on Mexican soil by a unit of Mackenzie's cavalry. I find it hard to believe they'd all be interested in the same woman. Search him, Reed. Search him and see if there's a valid reason for his continued existence. Well, now, that looks like a tidy sum.
What about his gun?
Well, he's our guest. Who would he shoot? Small wonder the cavalry was so keenly interested in you after you'd relieved it of its payroll. But I heard about the incident, of course. I must admit it showed a certain amount of daring and imagination. A woman, you said. A woman? Oh, please, sir.
Well, I'll probably end up spending it on a woman. That's my usual pattern.
Well, every man has his faults. The remainder of the payroll, Mr. O'Brien. Where have you concealed it?
Now, Mr. Folger, you wouldn't want me to lie to you again?
Well, as you choose. It really doesn't matter. In the end, you'll have paid me the greater part of it anyway, in order to remain here. You probably understand that I guarantee immunity from the law, any law. But my price is rather steep. For example, this will be just sufficient to afford you refuge here for 1 week.
Well, I've learned, Mr. Folger, that if one can't control a situation, one can at least accept it.
Well, that's very wise. And now I'll arrange your accommodation with Sampson, our butler.
Oh, yes. Do you have many guests?
A few. But everyone has his own quarters, so you won't be bothered. We assure privacy at no additional cost. Oh, good afternoon, Mrs. Wagner. And how has your day been?
Like all other days here. Charming.
Yes, well, of course, you're young and lovely, and this place must be rather confining. Mrs. Maria Wagner, may I present a man who chooses to call himself Mr. Algernon O'Brien?
I'm honored, Mrs. Wagner.
I'm not.
Well, it didn't take me long to make a bad impression.
Did you expect to make a good one here?
In order to fulfill his secret mission, Mackenzie had to first gain the confidence of Maria Wagner. Then second, find a way to get her safely out of the hands of Lionel Folger.
Good morning, Mrs. Wagner. May I join you in your walk?
You may not.
I have something of interest to discuss with you.
You could discuss nothing of interest to me, Mr. O'Brien.
Not even your son, Michael?
What about Michael? Is he all right?
The boy's in good health. I see we have company. Is there somewhere around here where we could talk with comparative privacy?
Yes. Tell me, Mr. O'Brien. Tell me what you know about him.
Just in a minute. First, I want to take out an insurance policy. The kind that I hope will ensure privacy.
That's far enough, mister. You stay right where you are.
I just wanted to say that you're not nearly as attractive as the lady.
Figuring on impressing her? Forget it. She don't like none of us. She won't like you no better.
Well, maybe I'll have beginner's luck. But I won't have any chance at all if you insist on sticking close to me like a chaperone.
Look, O'Brien, Mr. Folger says for me to tag you too. When he says it, you're tagged.
All right, tag us. Keep us in sight if you like. But remember, I'm a paying guest, and I'd like the privilege of talking to the lady privately.
All right. Go tell her your lies. Won't do you no good. But don't you try scampering away all of a sudden.
Why should I, Mr. Reed? I like it here. If we talk quietly, Reed can't hear us.
You said something to me about my little boy.
Yes.
What can you know about him?
I know that you put him in an expensive school in the East. All paid for by certain criminals that hope that you won't testify against them.
I put him there. They did. The criminals did.
Exactly. And that's the way they're trying to bribe you not to testify against them.
They made me. They made me stay here until the hearing's over.
They made me by threatening my son's life if I didn't. Oh, what's the use? What's the use of talking to you?
Michael's eyes flash just like yours, especially when he's excited.
How do you know? When did you see him?
Night before last.
Night before last. You're a liar. Michael's school is in Connecticut.
Michael's school is, but Michael isn't. He's just across the Rio Grande in Fort Clark, being guarded by a very capable regiment of cavalrymen.
Who are you?
Colonel Ranald Mackenzie, ma'am, at your service.
Colonel Mackenzie, the officer? I don't believe you.
I'll tell you something else about Michael. When he tries to wink one eye, he can't do it. Both eyes close.
That's Michael. That's my son.
Now, if your safety is guaranteed, and Michael's, of course, would you be willing to come back to the United States and testify?
Immediately. Immediately and eagerly.
All right, we'll leave tonight. Midnight. I'll have some horses ready. We'll make a ride for it. Now, slap me. Hard.
Slap you?
Come on, slap me. For Reed's benefit. Make him think I insulted you. Then flounce out of here and I'll follow you, and in the process I'll lose Reed.
When I think of all the men who need slapping.
Mrs. Wagner. Mrs. Wagner. Keep going and keep complaining. Loud.
Don't! Don't touch me! Don't you dare touch me, Mr. O'Brien! Get away from me! Don't! Leave me alone! Don't touch me! Don't you ever touch me again, Mr. O'Brien! Stay away from me!
Following his instructions from Mackenzie, Lieutenant Paxson made preparation to lead the raiders into Mexico.
Yes? Well, you look worried, sir.
Puzzled, Sampson, puzzled. That O'Brien.
O'Brien, sir? What about him?
Nothing definite, nothing I can touch. Something I vaguely feel about him, something wrong. I suppose it's my imagination. You have news?
Well, nothing important, sir. Just gossip from Brackettville about Colonel Mackenzie.
I suppose it's too much to hope that he's dead.
Well, not quite, sir. But he must be very ill because he hasn't been seen in the fort or any place else since the payroll holdup.
Since the payroll holdup? Are you sure he's there? Are you sure he's ill?
Well, no, sir, but if I may be permitted to say so, you'd be ill, too, if someone stole that much of your money.
Another coincidence, and I distrust them. O'Brien shows up here the day after the payroll robbery. Mackenzie hasn't been seen since that day.
Do you think Colonel Mackenzie would dare come here?
From what I've heard, he'd dare anything.
In accordance with Mackenzie's timetable, the raiders left Fort Clark, crossed the Rio Grande, and headed for the appointed rendezvous. The next move and the success of the mission now depended on Mackenzie.
Folger, I lost O'Brien.
You lost him? How?
I tagged him and Mrs. Wagner like you said. When I came up, he was gone. I couldn't help it, sir.
Where's Mrs. Wagner?
Just outside.
Mr. Folger, as long as I'm here, I demand protection from men, beasts like Mr. O'Brien.
Where is Mr. O'Brien?
I don't know. He ran away when I screamed, and I hope he stays gone.
Reed, if O'Brien isn't found in 10 minutes. Just where have you been, O'Brien?
Well, these didn't grow in my hand. Mrs. Wagner, I looked all over it. These are the prettiest I could find. By way of apology.
Mr. O'Brien, there's only one thing you can do for me. Stay away from me.
Oh, Mr. Reed, you're right. She doesn't like any of us.
Mr. O'Brien, I can hardly claim that any of us here is a gentleman, but each of us tries to act like one. I'd appreciate a similar attempt on your part.
I can appreciate that sentiment, sir. And to try and make amends, I'll apologize to you. You take the flowers.
Now, you should be thankful, Reed. He made an appearance and saved your life. For the present. I wish I knew. I wish I knew.
You what, Mr. Folger?
If he's Colonel Mackenzie.
You know what to do.
Almost, Colonel, but not quite. Get Reed. We've got to catch him before they cross the river.
They're coming.
Sound happy.
I am. My orders were to get you. My hopes were to get Folger, too. Come on. I've got a place picked out. Here we are. Here, hold these. Hide behind this. Looking for me, gentlemen? Don't fire, Sampson. I very much wanted to take you alive, Mr. Folger.
This is Mexico. You have no jurisdiction here.
No, but I soon will have, in about 15 minutes. The Rio Grande is just 15 minutes behind us. Shall we ride to Fort Clark, Mr. Folger?
Where's Michael? When is he coming?
Oh, Mrs. Wagner, take it easy. I've sent for him. There you are. Come in.
Michael!
Got a report on Folger?
Yes, sir. He's in the marshal's custody.
Good. That ends his... Lieutenant. You any explanation for your appearance, mister? How about that shoulder board?
Oh, yes, sir. There's my explanation. I'm lucky I have a uniform left.
Michael, let's see you wink.
Mackenzie's raiders rode again and again, carrying out the secret orders of the President of the United States. Do whatever necessary to clean up the Southwest. Make it a decent place for people to live. Ride with Mackenzie's Raiders as they relive the blazing pages of history in the making.